Hello, it's Dawn. Welcome to Spiritual View. And I'm here to give you a little bit of astrology outlook for the week coming up. This is June 1st. It's a Sunday, and I wanted to kind of start with this day because I think there's some very important information that will bring us through into the week and understand where certain planets have been and where they're heading to. I think it's a beautiful thing that we can actually see the planets move. I do have a very nice program that I can take you through day by day and even hour by hour that you can watch as the zodiacal wheel moves, which to me is a much simpler way of understanding things than to just see a list. So I'm going to start with that, and I hope that you will welcome this new little venture as to giving you an idea of what the astrology is going to be for the week. We hope to continue to do this. I will say that tomorrow I'm going to be the one giving the message on Monday morning. And on Wednesday, we are going to have someone in our that is a certified reader with Soulful Revolution, name of Morgan, with Tourmaline Tarot. And she is going to be on our Wild Card Wednesdays. Now, she's going to give the message Wednesday morning, and then she's going to join us Thursday evening for the live so that you can get a chance to actually say hello to her and get to see her. So let's get started with what the astrology will look like here. And I'm going to pull up the chart, adding this to the stage. I will go to where it is that I can actually use my pointer. So this is June 1st. What are the things that I want you to note about this week? Venus is going to be very, very busy. Venus is probably the biggest aspect to stay in touch with this week. Venus today is at 25 degrees in a conjunction with Chiron. Now, this is very much an energy of healing. She has been through a lot. She is still in the sign that she was retrograding in. Remember, she started her retrograde at 10 degrees of Aries, went back into Pisces, got her groove on, and came back out. And now she's been working her way through the rest of Aries. So now she's joining Chiron. Now, this is at 25 degrees. And what I find interesting, you all know that I'm very involved with the asteroid goddesses. And one of them happens to be Pallas Athena, who's also at 25 degrees. So to me, that is, she has come to her healing, and now she's going to be strategic about moving forward. Aries is about self. So to empower the self of Venus. For those who have both Libra and Taurus as their chart ruler, I think it's important for you to realize, kind of recognize what you've been through during the past, how should we say, since March 1st, maybe even a hair before, but March 1st is when she went retrograde. So there has been a lot that you have learned, that you've gone through, that you can feel now that you're into a place of healing and acceptance of that. And you do have Pallas Athena here at 25 degrees in a sextile, a helping hand energy. To me, that is other women who are supportive. So Venus can also be women. So to me, that is part of what the community of women can help do, is this energy of what is going on in the different areas of your lives. So what is Venus going to be doing the rest of this week? Because I believe she's probably the most important thing going on. I kind of laugh because she is actually going to be in a sextile to Jupiter exact on June 4th. But the truth is she's already in that sextile. She has 25 degrees here with Chiron, but up here, Gemini, Jupiter, 28 degrees. So really that's only 3 degrees off. As of today, she really is already in a sextile with Jupiter. These are the two most benefic planets. Now she is in Aries. Aries is very much about the self. And Jupiter is very much in Gemini, about communication. So what can be felt with the sextile? Again, because you do have this energy of this Pallas Athena here, I think being able to talk through things. Jupiter is a very good communicator and teacher. So if there's something that is related to you regarding possibilities in your life about you learning new things and moving forward, especially once you're making that decision, and very soon both Jupiter and Venus are going to be where they are exalted. Well, at least Jupiter definitely will be, and Venus will be in Taurus, where that is her home sign after spending so much time um, in Aries. You think how long she's been there. So, what else is going on with Venus? This same week, we do have Venus on the 5th of June, moving into Taurus. So everybody that has Libra and Taurus as their ruling sign, yay for you, because it's going to be so much better energy. You won't feel the angst. I guess that's the word I want to use for Venus being in Aries. I mean, she had her own power, but she had to watch everyone around her because it's very much it's a Mars ruled sign, and it's about, kind of avoiding the pitfalls as you're going through this particular sign of the zodiac when you're Venus. And Mars is actually in a fire sign itself in Leo. So Mars is feeling particularly strong and Venus is in his sign. So it's like, she doesn't want to get involved in all of the drama that you can get involved in Aries. And I think by the time she's gotten to this point, she's getting now the help of Jupiter. And okay, now I can start to breathe a sigh of relief. I know that I'm going to be moving into a sign where I can feel comfortable and I can start to get things done. Taurus is very much about getting things done. It's a very earthy sign. It's a sign of planting. It's a sign of letting seeds start to grow. So that energy is coming forward for us now. We do have the new moon that had happened in Gemini asking us to look at things in a different way. So with Venus now leaving Aries and moving into Taurus, and what areas of the chart are that for you? If you know your own chart, then look at the houses that both Libra and Taurus are in for you, because now they're going to have a much easier time because their ruler is in a comfortable place and is in a place where she can get things done. It's very, very beneficial. So let's take a look at what else is going on this week. Now, June 5th also happens to be the day when we're going to have our live. So bear that in mind. We also have Mercury in a square to the nodes on that day. So I'm just going to start to move this forward so you can see what this looks like. I'll change this to days. So we're starting off on Sunday, and I want you to see how this looks. We move into Monday. Venus is now at 26 degrees, again, coming up to closer and closer to that sextile to Jupiter. Very helpful energy. Another day forward. Number 27. So this is Aries, 27 degrees. Again, she's moving away from Chiron. You can still feel that energy, though, and they're still getting, this 25 and 25 degrees. So I think you can still rely on other people, especially women, to be supportive and strategic with you if you've had issues and problems coming up. And you're going to be getting the help of Jupiter in that as well. So let's move one more day ahead. And this will be June 4th. She's at 28 degrees. Jupiter's at 28 degrees. They are going to be at least in my time frame, they are going to be in an exact sextile on the 5th. But right now they're at the same degree. They are at the same degree, 28 degrees. and they have Uranus right in the middle between them. Unexpected, something's coming up? Probably. I would say there can be things that might be coming up that would be unexpected for you, but it's right in between the two benefics. So even if it feels awkward, something happens that's unexpected and you're not sure quite what to do, take with it the thought that it's going to be for your greatest and highest good, because you have it bordered on either side. This is what would be considered the midpoint of those two planets, 28 and 28 and 28. Uranus would be the midpoint. So I think whatever's going to be happening will be for your greatest and highest good. Although at the moment that it happens, it'll feel maybe even a little irritative, because it's a harmonic. It's 1/12, so the harmonic will feel a little awkward, but it's going to get better. It's going to get better. So just bear that in mind on the 5th, that there might be something that's a surprise for you that you're kind of like, I don't know if I like this or not, but it is going to benefit you. It is going to benefit you. So the other thing that's going to be going on is we do have Mercury. If I go back to Mercury here, Sun. We did have our, oh yeah, let's not forget this energy of the chart. So Mercury is right near Jupiter at this time. And this is interesting because Jupiter is moving like very quickly at this time. It's like 2 degrees a day. So it's not going to take much time at all for Mercury to be conjunct Jupiter. Now, this is a very interesting energy because Mercury is a ruler of Gemini, and she's going to be conjuncting, or he or she is going to be conjuncting Jupiter. That's a lot of news in an area of the chart that's very talkative anyway. So my advice would be to not get too excited about things. You may get some really great ideas, but watch how much you talk about them, because you might regret saying too much, Jupiter adding to things. So just watch that energy, that you may be saying a little bit too much when that comes, as it comes close to being exact. And the thing is, when it comes exact, Jupiter moves to 29 degrees on June 5th, an anuretic degree, and Mercury's still moving forward. We have Venus in an exact sextile still to Jupiter. Still that energy, but now they're at the anuretic degree. So what is Aries in your chart? What house is Aries in your chart? And what house is Gemini in your chart? For me, it's the 11th house, Aries, and my first house, Gemini. What can be happening for me in this chart? I think it'll be very interesting because in my natal chart, I do have karma also at 29 degrees of Gemini. So something probably fated for me is going to be coming up in my life. So I think I like it because it's the two benefics. It's the two benefics. So I imagine that there'll be some good news coming in for me. So check with me later. What else is going on? Mercury is still moving up. Mercury is still moving up. So let's move it out another day. This will be Friday. Again, Jupiter's still at 29 degrees. You have Venus now, yay, has moved into Taurus finally. Breathe a sigh of relief. What can you think of this day that is going to be beneficial for you? And it's very interesting. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. Hecate is exactly opposite Venus on the day she enters Taurus. Well, let's take a look at that and see what you may have in your life that is going to be a decision. Hecate is the goddess of crossroads and of lighting the way. And that energy, I think, is going to be very beneficial. Venus is going to be shortly in a square to Pluto. Like I said, Venus is like who the story is about this week, definitely. And she is very much going to be in a square with Pluto. So what things between Pluto and Venus are going to be coming up? They have a very unusual relationship. It can be very very much about control, but it also is charisma. So what about this can you, when in your chart, if you have anything in those areas, can you utilize to your benefit? Venus in her own sign, which makes her, pretty powerful, and Pluto. Pluto has power anyway, so this isn't going to knock it out. But to me, anything that might be in a square, because these are both fixed signs, it's going to require action. It may even require you to give up something that you've been very unwilling to bend. So think about those things as you're moving through this week. And again, I love that this is at 0 degrees, and this is the square here. Right now, she's not going to be very involved with what is going on here because she's just, a little ways away. And really, I don't think she's going to talk to them right now. It'll be more as she gets later on into the sign of Taurus. So let's move it forward. So this is June 6th. This is that Friday. Move it forward again. She's now at 1 degree. Jupiter is still at 29 degrees, but Mercury is now in a conjunction right here, this area. Mercury is going to be in a conjunction. So as it moves into this area, don't forget, Mercury rules the sign that Jupiter is currently in. So it has a lot of power here. And the ideas that are going to be available to you, pay attention, be open, find out. Information is something that Gemini loves to dig up. This would be a good opportunity for you to do a little digging on your own behalf. Gemini loves research, so does Scorpio. Between those two, there are no secrets. Gemini loves to learn. What is it that you may be wanting to learn coming up? Very interesting things that you can think about, because this will set a new cycle for the next year of Mercury and Jupiter. What is it that you want to learn? That's a very powerful thing that's going to be happening. 29 degrees of Gemini. Is there something in the next year that you may be wanting to learn? Let's take a look and move forward. Look, exact 29, 45, 45. And that is on June 8th. So the 5th was Thursday, 6th Friday, 7th Saturday, 8th is Sunday. I wanted to bring up the 8th because Mercury on this day will be moving into Cancer, not too long after this perfection, because again, Mercury is moving 2 degrees a day. It's moving very quickly. And one of the things that as I said earlier, be careful about how much you're communicating, what your plans are, because you may see something that you'll regret. And as soon as Mercury moves into Cancer, you're going to have, I personally have that in my natal chart where Mercury is in Cancer, so I'm used to dealing with it. Some people say, oh, Mercury's very, makes decisions emotionally. I have not found that to be true, but I've been used to it. I've been used to dealing with it. And I also have an Aquarius moon. So to me, it doesn't really play that way. But the communication that you do have, be very careful about. And I think this gives you an opportunity to utilize your voice in a positive way. This is how you work with your chart. So, do you have anything in the early degrees of the water signs? And again, you're having Mercury is coming into a conjunction, not conjunction, a trine with Hecate. After having still this energy of Venus still in an opposition, and then coming into Black Moon Lilith. What is it that Venus is going to feel strongly about that she's going to be throwing off some Black Moon Lilith vibes? I think this, to me, is just fun. It truly is really fun. Mercury then in the earlier part of next week will be going into a square with Saturn, which can be about restrictions. So again, I would say if you've said something, that is when you're going to have to answer for it. So any aspects to Saturn, especially squares, are definitely about karma. So if you said something you may regret, you will be called to account very quickly because Mercury will go right into a square with Saturn and answer for things. So I would say all this week, let the ideas come in. Let Mercury and Venus really enjoy what is going on with them in their chart. Mercury is already in a sign that it rules, so it's really powerful, and it will get lots and lots of ideas. It is actually going to be, at some point earlier in the week, it will be in a trine with Cheroklo healing, this energy. So I would say as Venus moves into her own sign, I would say that there's going to be an opportunity very quickly for Mercury and Venus to start speaking again once Mercury gets in to Cancer, and they'll be in a sextile again. So again, communication with other women, I think, is key in you moving forward with your dreams and how you think of things in different ways. So stay open to this energy. So let me go ahead and go back to the main screen here. And I am so happy to have had this chance to review those things with you. And I'm going to do this as a separate reading because there's a lot going on this week. So hopefully I will get this out today, June 1st, and I will have a reading for you for tomorrow morning. So stay tuned for that. Again, we have Morgan joining us for Wildcard Wednesdays. Our live is going to be on Thursday at 7 Eastern, and we will have other announcements coming out during the week. So thank you for joining me, and enjoy the week. Bye.